How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to our next episode on how to create HTML and CSS. Now, in this lesson, you're going to learn about something called transition inside CSS, and this is something that's really useful when you want to create any sort of smooth transitioning inside a website. For example, if I were to take an example from the previous episode where we talked about the hover effect we can add, which is a pseudo class, to one of the elements that allow for us to change an element when we hover the mouse cursor on top of the element. Now, if I were to not use transition inside the website, and I'm just going to go ahead and show an example here where I have a div box that has a background image inside of it. If I want to change the image inside this specific div box smoothly, then right now, because I only applied the hover effect or the hover pseudo class, it is going to instantly change it instead of smoothly doing it. So what we can do using transition is that we can smoothly transition into the new image. Or in this case down here, smoothly transition into something else regarding a div box or a text element, or the transition basically works on everything. The same goes for the hover effects. We can use it on text, images, videos, any sort of elements we have inside the website. So what I want to do is I want to go inside my documents and show you what exactly I have. I have two examples I want to show. The first one is going to be with the background image. I want to change it smoothly into something else. And then afterwards I want to show you that it's not just images, but we can do it with all sorts of things inside the website. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside my style sheet, and what I have here is the styling for my div box that has the background image. So right now we just have a width, a height, that is both set to 500 pixels. Then I have the background image, I have the background size, and then I told it not to repeat the image over and over again. So what I want to do is when I hover on top of this div box using the pseudo class called hover, then I want to change into this background image down here, which is the hover version of the image. And again, just to show, inside my root folder, I do have two images inside my image folder. So this is the one I show first of all, and when I hover, I want to change to this image over here. So what I can do is I can go ahead and go inside my main styling of this element, not the hover styling, but the main styling up here. And I can go ahead and add a transition effect to it. Now, when we want to add a transition to our elements, we can actually change different properties of the transition. So we could, for example, say, first of all, what kind of property do we want to change inside the transition? So if I want to change the height or the width or the background image or the color or something else inside this specific element, then we can actually define that inside this first property that we can create for the transition. So we can say transition dash property. And then, like I said, we can set it to something like the height or the width or something like that. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and set it to all because I want all the effects inside the hover state down here to have a slow transition to it. Now, underneath here, we can also go ahead and define something like the duration. How long should it take for the transition to start to finish? So I could say transition dash duration, and I can set it to something like 2 seconds if I just want it to be really slow. So we can say 2s, and there we go. We can also add something like a timing function to it, meaning that if I were to transition over a duration of 2 seconds, do I want it to just evenly change the whole time, or do I want it to slowly start up and then speed up and then slow down again as we finish the transition? So this is how we can, decide the way we want to transition it. So what I can say is I want to say transition dash timing dash function, and then I can set it to something like ease or ease in out, which is to be slowly ease into the transition, or also slowly ease out if you want to. So there's different states here we can choose from. So I'm just going to say ease in and out. And the last property we can go ahead and add here is something called a delay. So if I want to, when my mouse cursor goes on top of the image, change it, then I can say, well, it should only change after about 4 seconds. So we can say transition dash delay 4 seconds. So what I've done now is if I were to go inside my website here and refresh it, as you can see, it's still instantly changing. If I were to refresh, go with my mouse cursor on top of it, you can see we wait 4 seconds. And then it's going to slowly transition into the next image. So this is how we can do transition. Now, even though the transition is in fact working inside the browser, there's a couple of things we need to consider, which is that there will be some browsers or some older versions of browsers that don't fully support the transition effect unless we do something else inside the style sheet here. So right now we have these 4 different stylings. I'm just going to go ahead and copy them, because if I want support for other browsers or older versions of the browsers, we will need to add a prefix in front of the stylings in order for these to work in those as well. Now, a prefix is not something we talked about before, but I'm just going to go ahead and show how we can do it, and then in a later episode I will get more into these prefixes so you understand exactly what they do inside CSS. So right now you can see I made a copy of the transition styling, and I'm going to go ahead and go in front of the transition styling and add the prefix in front of it. So right now, if I want support for older versions of Chrome, I'll have to say dash WebKit dash, and this is what we call a prefix, and I do need to copy paste this in front of all of them in order to get this working. Now, this is just Chrome, so if we want to also have support for Firefox or older versions of it, I'm going to have to change it into Mox instead with a Z, which stands for Mozilla Firefox, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and paste it in. And if I also want support for Opera, which is another browser, then I'm also going to have to do that for that one as well. So I'm just going to add an O in between the dashes here. So now you might be thinking, this is a lot of styling just to get transition working. And you're absolutely right. And there's an easier way for us to do this instead of having to create all this code here, which is just insanely much code to write just to get this one thing working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just delete what we have here all the way up, so we don't have any more transition going on inside the styling, and instead we're going to write everything in one line. So essentially, when we're done and we have stylings for or support for all the different browsers, we're just going to have 4 lines of code, just about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write transition, and I'm not going to write dash anything. I'm just going to say transition. Then in front of it, I'm going to say colon, semicolon, and then in between here, at first I will need to decide, well, what is the property I want to change? In this case, I want to change everything, so I'm going to say all, space, how long do I want it to take? 2 seconds, space, what kind of timing function do I want to use? Well, I want to ease in this case, without the out, just to give another example. If I can actually spell that correctly, there we go. And do we want to have a delay? So we can say 1 second. We could also just leave out the delay if we wanted to, but in this case, just to have it, I'm just going to write 1 second. So after we've done this, we can actually go ahead and copy it, paste it underneath 3 more times. So it's going to be 4 lines of code, not 5. And I'm going to go ahead and add the WebKit to it. If I can actually write that correctly, there we go. Copy it, paste, and paste, Mox, and Opera. So now, if I were to just go ahead and save it, go inside the browser, it's going to do the exact same thing. We still have the transition going on and everything is working, and we have support for all the different browsers in here. So writing it in 4 lines of code is much better than having that huge block of code that we just wrote, or styling that we just wrote, which is much better, I think. So what I want to do is I want to show you another example, because below here I have example 2. And again, like I mentioned in the beginning, it's not only images you can change using transition, you can use any sort of styling and transition it, such as the position or paddings or heights or anything like that. So in this example here, I went and created a box, which is actually a link, and the link allowed for me to go to the front page if I were to click it. Now, as you can see, when I hover on it, it's going to slowly open out and then show me a small downwards arrow, which in this case is just a V because I was lazy. But as you can see, if I were to remove the hover effects, or the transition effect, not the hover effect, just going to comment it out, then we get something a little bit different. And as you can see, it just pops out and shows the drop down arrow. Now, I like to add transitions to my elements inside a website because it just looks a lot better. It adds a little bit more of style to a website to have these sort of transitions going on. So in this example here, I just went ahead and said that, well, when I hover on top of my element here, it's just going to extend the box with the text inside of it with a couple of pixels. And that way I would get this cool hover effect going on here. If I were to go in here and say I don't just want the width to change to show the little V, then I can also, if I wanted to, say I want to change the height to something else. So we can say 300 pixels. And let's actually go ahead and change the transition. As you can see, I chose to do 100 milliseconds. So instead, I'm just going to change it to 500 milliseconds. There we go. If I were to go in and refresh again, you can see that we also get a different height, and it slowly transitions into it. So we can do a bunch of things when it comes to these different transitions here. So just going to play around with it for a little bit. Padding left is going to be 500 pixels. Change the background color to red. Or even give it a background image if we wanted to. So we can do a bunch of cool effects here, and we can display text, and we can do all sorts of things using only CSS without using JavaScript, because in the old days, before CSS 3, we had to use JavaScript in order to do these sort of things, and we don't have to do that anymore. So this is how we can use transition inside CSS. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.